Namaste and welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua, and for this practice of first part Vinyasa Flow, second part Yin and Restorative, you'll want to have quite a few different props like 2 blocks, a strap, a blanket, and a pillow, and start in any comfortable way for you to sit so that you can feel a sense of grounding evenly through your pelvis, left and right sides. Tall in your spine, maybe shifting around and just taking a moment to consciously arrive in your yoga practice through whatever you had to go through to be here now. So last practice on Wednesday, we talked about Nischala Joy Devi's more heart-centered translation of the Yoga Sutra's definition of yoga as the uniting of consciousness at the heart. Here's more about thoughts and beliefs from her. Our thoughts and feelings are trained by habit to flow in predictable patterns, which determine whether our life fosters a sense of ease and happiness or turns from it. Constant identification with these patterns forms our belief system, a blueprint for our lives. So here's a succinct exercise, or she calls them experiences, that she takes us through on observing how your belief system influences your life. So take a moment to be still, maybe rest a hand at the heart, a hand at the belly, whatever allows you to be more of a reflective mode to start. What is your belief system? Do you feel closer to the divine or source when you are in crisis or in joy? Do you invite hard times because you believe that they will help you to become stronger? Notice how you have set up your life to foster those beliefs. Are you happy with your choice? Pick one particular feeling, thought, or phrase that you use frequently. It could be life is hard or life is good. What's the first thing that comes to mind that you frequently say as a philosophy of yours? Actually count how many times you use that philosophy in a day. How does the meaning influence your day and ultimately your life? Only you have the power to change your life. So with that, let's begin our physical yoga practice. As you're sitting still, begin to scan in your mind's eye your own physical body. Bring awareness to parts that really feel alive through sensation, gathering your physical state. And then observe how you feel the breath flowing, noticing its qualities. With that, observing your energetic state. And then notice any emotion that might be present in you right now. Tune into any thoughts that may have influenced you to feel that emotion. Observing your energetic state of mind and heart. And then let's invite a deeper in-breath. Letting it go through your mouth. Even slower inhaling. And even slower exhaling. As you continue to deepen your breath, what comes to mind is something that you appreciate in any aspect of your life this moment. Awaking the energy of the heart, now clarify to yourself why you're here today. What are you inviting into your experience through this mindful union of body, mind, spirit, breath, the practice of yoga? Having set your intention, to whom or what might you choose to dedicate this practice to, is a means of stepping outside of the individual ego mind and remembering we're part of a collective. And with that, let's open the space for a practice by chanting together 3 ohms. Inhale a little deeper. Bowing in towards your heart center. Let's begin to practice the breathing technique that helps to balance the nervous system and steady the mind. Ujjayi pranayama. As you close the lips, if you can, just breathing through your nose, sustain your breath evenly in and out while creating a very soft and smooth whispering sound by gently narrowing or softly constricting the back of your throat. See if you can keep that slow and soft rhythm going through much of this physical yoga practice. Let's come on up to stand at the top of your mat. You may want to have a couple of blocks in front of your mat. Let's step the feet apart here, wider than, or just hips distance, maybe wider, parallel to each other. And either holding a strap between your hands behind your lower back like this, where your thumbs are pointing away from the spine, or interlacing your fingers. See which one will give you a solid range of motion where you can stretch the hands maybe at least a foot away from your lower back. With a strap, you can space the hands apart as much as you need. And then bending your knees, roll your shoulders down and inhale, look up. Keep the knees bent. Exhale, begin to bow forward from your hips, cultivating the feeling of a flat back. Tilting your weight as far forward as you can balance as you completely drop your head and relax the neck. As we stay in the forward fold, a few more deep breaths. Continue to stretch your arms further away from your lower back. And bending your elbows slightly, lift your shoulders up away from your neck. Can you still hear that whispering sound at the back of your throat? Dropping the strap, if you're holding one, inhale, sweep your arms forward and rise all the way up to stand with the arms overhead, coiling your chest up from right beneath your shoulder blades, gentle back bend. Exhaling, gather your palms to meet at your heart center. And let's begin our first series of sun salutations, Surya Namaskar C. Inhale, sweep your arms forward again and tilt your chest up in Urdhva Hastasana. Hinging from your hips, exhale with a long spine, forward fold. Plant your fingertips on the ground or blocks outside your heels, and inhale, step your left knee back, kneeling lunge, gaze up. While holding your breath, step into your version of plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin. In Ashtangasana, stick your tailbone up. Inhale, slide forward to the ground, entering Cobra pose, grounding the tops of your feet. Exhale, tuck your toes and lift your pelvis back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward beside your left thumb and lower your right knee, gazing up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Press to your feet, inhale, rise up, rolling your shoulders back as you gaze up. Exhale, join your hands together at your heart. One more time, second side, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, gazing up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Plant your fingertips down, inhale, step your right knee back in Anjaneyasana, gazing up. While holding your breath, step into plank pose. Exhale, lower knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, slide forward into Bhujangasana or Cobra, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step right foot forward beside right thumb. Lower your left knee, gaze up. Exhale, step left foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead and lift the heart, relax the shoulders. Exhale, connecting to your heart center. We're gonna move through a variation of Sun Salutation B, getting just a wider range of movement going in our vinyasa flow. So let's bring the inner edges of your big toes together to touch to prepare for chair. Then empty this breath and let's keep moving one breath each posture. Inhale, bend your knees together to touch. Sit back towards your heels in Utkatasana, raising your arms in chair pose. Then exhale, shift your weight forward and bow from your hips, Uttanasana. Either press your fingertips on your blocks or the floor and inhale, lengthen your spine forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Step back to plank. This time as you exhale, glide forward, bend your elbows back to hug your side ribs in Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale either to Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale to Downward Facing Dog. Listen here. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. And as you exhale, bend the knee and rotate the thigh externally, turn it out at the hip. Stay here and inhale, tack your left outer hip back. As you exhale, cross your right knee to touch your left elbow, gliding forward into plank pose. Then softly step the foot beside your right thumb, entering a high lunge. Inhale, rise up into crescent pose. Keep your spine vertical as you can, and exhale, twist to your right, opening your arms like a T, like we did on Wednesday. Wrap the right arm behind your back and inhale, lift your chest into a back bend here, flipping the left palm to face the back of your room. Exhale, sweep the left arm in front of you and towards the back of the room, aligning heel to arch in Warrior Two. Keep the right knee bent. Inhale, flip the right palm up and side bend towards your rear wall. Peaceful Warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to plank pose and continue down into your vinyasa. Inhaling to Cobra or Upward Facing. Let's meet in Downward Facing. Next inhalation, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend your left knee and turn out your thigh at the hip. Stay here and inhale, tack your right outer hip back. As you exhale, cross your left knee to tap your right elbow in plank. Step the foot beside your left thumb, entering a high lunge. Then inhale, rise up into crescent pose. Keep your spine vertical as you exhale, twist to your left with arms wide open. Wrap the left arm behind you and inhale into reverse Warrior One in crescent pose. Exhale, sweep the right arm forward and towards the back of the room, aligning heel to arch, Warrior Two. Inhale, Peaceful Warrior, side bending towards your rear wall as you raise the left arm overhead. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the earth and continue down into your vinyasa. Let's meet for a few breaths in stillness at Downward Facing Dog. When you arrive there, feel the openness throughout your neck, shoulders, and spine especially. Steadying your gaze on one spot. When you finish this next exhalation, hold your breath out as you walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, feet touching forward fold. There, inhale, press with your fingertips, lengthen to half forward fold. Exhale again, fold. Bend your knees together. Inhale, sit low in chair pose. Exhale, rise up, hands to the heart. Let's take that sequence one more time to the breath. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Choose to step to plank or float lightly into Chaturanga. Take it through your vinyasa. When you arrive at downward facing dog, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and rotate the thigh externally at the hip. Stay here. Inhale, tack your left outer hip back. Exhale, cross, right knee to touch, left elbow in plank. Step your right foot beside your right thumb in a high lunge. Inhale, rise up to crescent pose. Keep your spine vertical and exhale, twist to your right, arms open wide. Wrap the right arm behind your back and inhale, coil your chest up. Inhale, sweep the left arm forward and towards the rear wall, entering warrior two, heel to arch. Exhale, side bend towards your rear wall, peaceful warrior, right arm overhead. Inhale, touch the ground with both palms. Continue down into your vinyasa. Last one, second side from downward dog. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and turn out your thigh at the hip. Stay here. Inhale, tack your right outer hip back. Exhale, cross left knee to touch, right elbow in plank. Step the foot beside your left thumb, high lunge. Inhale, rise, crescent pose. Keep your spine vertical. Exhale, twist to the left, open arms. Wrap the left arm behind your back. Inhale, coil your chest up. Exhale, sweep your right arm forward and towards the rear wall, entering warrior two, heel to arch. Inhale, side bend towards your rear wall, peaceful warrior. Exhale all the way down into your vinyasa. Pause for 3 deep breaths at Adho Mukha Svanasana. Notice how your body feels here now. Walk or float to the top of your mat with feet touching there. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend your knees together. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. And exhale, Padasana, rising up. This time, inhale to chair, but extend your arms forward with your palms face up. Exhale, lower your pelvis, catch the backs of your knees and kick your feet forward, boat pose a few breaths. You could do it hands-free if you like. You could do it legs straight if you like. Lifting your pelvic floor, lift up through the back of your skull and soften your shoulders down. 4 more breaths, inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2, observing the mind, what surface is there. Inhale, cross your ankles, plant your hands in front, and either walk back or float into Chaturanga. Let's meet in plank pose. So Chaturanga, press up like a push-up, plank pose. You got it. Bring the inner edges of your feet together to touch, and then spin over to the outer edge of your left foot. You could step the right foot in front of you, creating a tripod or a kickstand, raising the right arm up. Press the ground away with your outer left foot flexed and your left hand. And then we're gonna flip it over into a back bend, opening the heart center area. So step your right foot behind you, behind the left leg, and come onto the ball of the right foot. Keep the right knee bent. Turn your belly to face the sky. Draw the left shoulder blade down your back And then lift the pelvis high, dropping your head back as you reach the right arm towards your front wall. Wild thing. Let the head fall here. Deep inhale, gather it up. Stick out your tongue, open your mouth wide. Come back to plank pose. Maybe take a vinyasa or cat-cow or child's pose. Let's meet in plank pose, feet together touching. Make sure your wrists are right under your shoulders. Steady your breathing. Now roll to the outer edge of your right foot flexed. You could step the left foot in front of you like a kickstand, raising the left arm to the sky in Vashisthasana. Press the ground with every part of your body touching the ground and create that lifting energy. Now step your left foot behind you onto the outside of your mat. Stay on the ball of your left foot, left knee is bent, right leg stays straight. Lift your pelvis high and drop your head back, sliding the right shoulder blade down your back ribs. Inhale deeply. Lion's breath, stick out your tongue, open your mouth wide. Any sound, let it go. Come back to your plank pose and lower slowly to lie on your belly, face down. With forehead to the ground, slide your knees as close together as you comfortably can, preparing for bow pose. We're gonna take 2 rounds of this. Opening the front of the shoulders, the chest, the front body. So bend your knees and reach back with both hands, catching your outer feet or your inner feet. Press your pubic bone into the ground. Kick your feet away from you as you pull them towards you with your hands, lifting your knees high, no wider apart than hips distance. Draw your shoulder bones back and press them down away from your neck as you look on the floor just ahead. Give yourself 5 to 10 breaths before dropping everything to rest. When you've let everything go, be still for 3 breaths and observe your energy. And when you're ready, set up for your last bow pose, which will culminate our vinyasa flow portion. Knees close together, bend them, catch your inner or outer feet. 5 to 10 breaths, Dhanurasana. Now, if you like, you can stay in bow shape and roll all the way over to one outer hip, giving the inner shoulder a deeper opening stretch. And then take just as much time onto the other outer hip. Kind of fun. Rocking your bow pose. This time, once you've let it go, you might make a pillow out of your forearms to rest your forehead on, and bending your knees, windshield wiper your shins side to side, helping to loosen your lower back. Breathe into your belly, giving it a gentle massage against the ground. Exhale through the mouth, releasing some heat. Couple more breaths like that. Please press your hands alongside your floating ribs and come up to sit, bringing your legs out in front of you. Grab a strap. You might want to use it for cow face pose as you're bringing your legs in front of you. Start with your left leg forward. I'm going to mirror you. And turn out your right thigh. Cross it as much as you can over your left thigh so that maybe your knees stack down your midline. Now you can choose to keep the bottom leg straight, flexing the foot. That allows you to sit up tall more easily, or bend the bottom knee as well, and maybe splay the feet wider apart. Make sure you can evenly press down through left and right sitting bones. Then, maybe using your strap, if your right leg is on top, raise your left arm holding the strap from it, so it's dangling behind you. With the help of your right hand, rotate your left outer upper arm forward and bring the elbow behind your skull. Press both of your shoulders down and reach your right hand underneath behind you to catch the bottom end of the strap. Then walk your hands as close together as you can. If your fingers meet, you can clasp them and drop the strap. Pressing down to your pelvis, imagine breathing into the bottom of your spine and lifting the breath up to create more space between each vertebra, and then lifting it all the way up to your crown. Keep your throat open, and from your hips, exhale, hinge just a little bit of your range forward. Pause as you breathe in and reroute your sitting bones as you lengthen your spine. If available, fold a little more as you breathe out. And just like that, for about 8 more breaths, incrementally forward folding. Sanskrit name for cow face pose is Gomukhasana. Pressing down through your pelvis, begin by lifting your chest to inhale, slowly rise. Release your arms, stretch out your legs, and maybe roll out your shoulders and feet and hands. Sense the fullness of your breath here now. Let's prepare for side 2. With your right leg forward, turn out your left thigh and cross it as much as you can over the right. Either stay here, especially if this is the variation you took on the first side, or bend the bottom knee and maybe splay the feet wider apart. This time, take the strap in your right hand, raising that arm, dangle the strap behind you. With your left hand, help to rotate your right outer upper arm forward and bring the elbow behind your head, pressing both shoulders down. Reach your left hand behind you underneath, catch the other end of the strap, then walk your hands as close together as you can, maybe clasping. As you root your sitting bones, imagine breathing into the bottom of your spine and inhaling to lift the breath up between each vertebra, creating more space. Extending through the heart, exhale, hinge from your hips. Little by little, for about 9 more deep breaths. Then pressing down through your pelvis, breathe in and slowly rise up. Release your arms and legs, and if they need to shake a bit or move, feel free. Just notice how your body's responding to that asana. We're going to set up for a spinal twist in a restorative posture, so please take your pillow, maybe put another prop somewhere off to the front side of your mat, just in case you'll need more, like a blanket and your blocks. Trace the pillow down the midline of your mat so it's touching the front edge of your mat like this. Then have a seat with your right outer hip flush against the back edge of that pillow. Start with both legs stretched towards your left wall. Keep your right leg there and slide your left leg towards your rear wall, tracing the midline of your mat. Now you've created a capital L shape out of your legs. Keep that as you place your hands to frame the left and right sides of your pillow. Then turn your chest completely to face the front edge of your mat, adjusting your pelvis and legs so that you can comfortably do that. You might bend the knees, you might swivel the right hip slightly towards the rear of your mat, with your right hip still touching the pillow. Relax your feet. As you press down through your hands, breathe in and stretch the front of your torso. Lift your heart. As you're exhaling, begin to bow onto the pillow. If you find that it's too far away, here's where you can get creative with adding more props. You might put a blanket on top, make it thicker. You might create an incline, placing a block underneath the edge of the pillow that's closest to the front of your mat. You might place a block under your forehead so that you can lie face down and breathe comfortably. If you're choosing to turn your head to one side, just take note of what side you're facing so that when we do this twist on the other side, you turn your head to the opposite. And so now, let's stay for about 3 more minutes before we switch sides. Make sure that you can comfortably be still for 3 minutes and that you're not actively holding your body up in this posture. Use as many props as you need to be able to feel like you're just leaning into the surface below. At this point of the practice, it's up to you whether you'd like to continue using Ujjayi pranayama, which is that controlled ocean sound breathing, or to just breathe naturally. As restorative yoga postures are meant to create a sense of effortlessness, inviting stillness. And at the same time, continue to rest your awareness on one thing that you choose, so that even if you're not controlling your breath, you can rest your attention on the natural breath, like the sensations of it. Continuing to be present in your body. Tune into about 3 more natural breaths here. And then gradually begin to lift your torso upright, leaving your props just as they are. As you're sitting upright, let's turn a face away from the props so that you're facing the rear of your mat with both legs stretched in front of you. Have your pelvis touching the back of the pillow here. And just pause a moment in stick pose or dandasana, allowing your spine to unravel from the twist and observing it, observing your body. Now resting your right leg where it is, slide your left leg 90 degrees to your left side so that it'll be pointing at your right wall, creating that L shape out of your legs. Now with your left outer hip flush against the rear edge of the pillow, plant your hands to frame the left and right sides of the pillow and turn your chest completely to face the front edge of your mat. Adjust your pelvis and your legs so that you can do this comfortably. As you breathe in, press down with your hands and lift your heart. As you're breathing out, begin to melt your torso onto the props. Now notice if the props need adjusting here. Maybe slightly different configuration, observing how the side of your body may need nurturing. If you turn your head on one side on the first part of the twist, make sure you do the opposite side here. Now, as you find a comfortable way to be still in this twist, let's rest here for another 3 minutes, landing your awareness on an object of focus, such as the sensations of the breath. Begin to gently lift your torso upright, leaving your props just as they are again. And let's turn to face the rear edge of your mat one more time and extend the legs in front of you in stick pose. Notice how this feels this time around. As you separate your feet, your hips width apart, grounding your sitting bones, notice if your spine is able to comfortably sit upright, or if you might find it helpful to sit on a folded blanket towards the front edge of that. Let's set up for Paschimottanasana, a seated forward fold. Opt to either use a strap as an extension of your arms by placing it around the balls of your feet, giving your shoulders room to relax back and down, or if you can do so with the shoulders and fold, clasping your big toes, you can prepare to do that in a moment. To ground to your sitting bones, press forward through the insteps of your feet. Activate the front muscles of your thighs without locking your knees. And inhale, lengthen from the bottom of your spine through the back of your skull. Keep the shoulders relaxed and your throat open. Exhale, just a little of your range, hinge forward from your hips. Inhale, root your pelvis down and stretch your spine from it. From the hips, exhale, hinge forward. Continue for another 8 cycles of breath, exploring your range of your forward folds. inviting a slight lift of your sternum, which is at the middle of your chest, as your shoulder blades soften down your back ribs. Pressing down to your sitting bones, breathe in. Slowly lift your heart, coming all the way up. I invite you into a variation of Supta Virasana, Supine Hero's Pose. We did have a request to open up the chest, which we did quite a bit of in our Vinyasa Flow class, but here's another little bit to add on the front of the hips, very related to that area. So as you keep the props you've already set up for your spinal twist, come on down to your knees and either sit on a block between your ankles in Hero's Pose. Make sure your toes are pointed back, your feet are not turned out or in. Your knees are no wider apart than your hips distance in front of you. Or come to sit on your calves, if that feels comfortable enough. Or gently roll the calves aside and sit on the ground between your ankles. If none of those versions feels okay in your body, then stretch your legs in front of you and come into bound angle where you bend the knees apart and bring the soles of your feet together. And you'll use these props as a gentle heart opening. Otherwise, if you are in some version of Hero's Pose, take your time to begin leaning back if that's available to you. Otherwise, you might be sitting upright and feeling plenty of stretching in the fronts of your thighs. If you're leaning back, breath by breath, picture your tailbone lengthening forward towards the space between your knees as you're gently lifting your frontal hip bones towards your lowest front ribs, preventing overarching the lower back. Now, remember, you can get creative with these props. If it feels like they're too far away to actually lean on, make them thicker. You could also create supported fish pose with 2 blocks, which is placing a block at the tallest height for the back of your skull, and a second block medium height closer to you so that you can land the area just beneath the bottom tips of your shoulder blades onto the medium height block, and the back of your skull onto the highest or furthest block. You could even adjust the one that's under your skull if you want a little more of a back bend. Tilt the block under your head a step or 2 lower. And if you are completely leaning back, not needing to use your hands for support, then you might raise your arms overhead, catching hold of opposite elbows, further opening up your psoas. Let the shoulders soften away from your neck. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. I'll let you know when we're halfway with those 3 minutes so that you can cross the other arm on top if you're holding opposite elbows. So again, rest your awareness on the breath or your heart center. Choose one thing to help you focus. We're halfway through the 3 minutes if you want to switch the cross of your arms. Now, very slowly begin to plant your hands on the ground beside you. Take your time lifting your torso upright again. You might stretch the legs out in front of you once more and just give the backs of your knees a little space. Please find a comfortable way to sit for pranayama practice to prepare us for shavasana and meditation. You might sit up on your blocks or not. Make sure you feel easefully upright. So I invite you into a practice of alternate nostril breathing, or Nodi Shodhana Pranayama, a way to tune inward, become more aware of your subtle energy body, help to balance the left and right hemispheres of your brain. As we're practicing it, you might close your eyes and choose one point in your body to steady your gaze on, or you can visualize the breath coming in and out of each nostril. Resting your left hand on your lap, maybe choose a mudra that cultivates a feeling tone you're inviting in. A grounding mudra is to bring the thumb and first finger to touch, the palm face down. And one that helps promote elevating consciousness is Gyan Mudra, which is the same gesture with the palm face up. With your right hand, stick out your thumb, pinky, and ring finger in Vishnu Mudra. Continue to breathe with your lips closed, softly and gently, even inaudibly through the nose. So unlike Ujjayi breath, we'll use the right thumb to close the right nostril and the right ring and pinky to close the left nostril. Let's practice 3 cycles together and then 3 cycles on your own. Prepare to start by emptying this breath. Hold it out. Right thumb close right nostril. Inhale left. Hold it in. Close left. Exhale right. Hold it out. Inhale right. Hold the breath. Close right. Exhale left. Hold the breath. Cycle 2. Inhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Cycle 3. Inhale left for 6. Hold for 3. Close left. Exhale right for 6. Hold for 3. Inhale right for 6. Hold for 3. Close right. Exhale left for 6. Hold for 3. Continue 3 more cycles on your own. Take your time to finish at your own pace so that when you do, you sit, breathe naturally, and observe how you're feeling. And as you're ready to, please gradually lower your body to the ground where you can lie down and rest in corpse pose for a few minutes, Shavasana. Eyes closed, breath natural. Let your body rest in stillness a little longer. And like we did at the start, I invite you to mentally scan your body. Notice any sensations you're feeling now. Very gently and gradually, begin to wake up your body. Start by moving small parts, like slowly turning your head or rubbing your thumbs across your fingertips. Little by little, easing into a simple stretch and then another. Eventually turning over onto your right side, resting your head as you lie on your side. Bringing awareness back to the breath in its natural flow. Notice your energy now. Has anything shifted? And take your time lifting your body upright. Find a way to comfortably sit where you can feel grounded, alert, and relaxed for about 10 minutes of guided meditation. As we talked about in the beginning of the practice, about beliefs and how our beliefs definitely influence our state of being moment by moment. Oftentimes, the beliefs can be on autopilot, directing our perception. So we can change what we focus on as well and be more intentional with how we're influencing our present state of being. And that's what this practice of meditation is going to be focused on. So begin by, you might place your hands in a mudra if you like, Gyan mudra, grounding mudra. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze at eye level in one spot, whatever allows you to concentrate most easily. Begin by locating the sensations again of your breath, naturally flowing in your body. Landing your attention into an area of the body. You can easily sense the breath coming and going. And remembering to come back here anytime your attention might wander off from the present moment or this meditation. This particular meditation is about cultivating an inner smile. So I invite you to call to mind anything or anyone that when you think about it or them, you just naturally smile without effort. Maybe it's someone that you love or something that brings you joy. Maybe it's a particular recent situation in which it was just so funny that if you start to think about it, you might even giggle. Allow a minute to re-envision whatever it is that makes you smile so easily. Allow your senses to appreciate that energy of the smile. If it's a situation, remember who was there, what was said, how you felt physically, viscerally in the body. And now dwell in that feeling tone, that energy of smiling. And if it hasn't already, let it come across your face. Let the corners of your lips lift gently. And notice how that feels. Invite your eyes to come along for the ride of smiling. Feel your ears, your entire face immerse in that energy of a smile. Your imagination is powerful, and you can viscerally create an experience through it. What would it feel like to smile at the back of your skull? Can you bring that energy there? To feel your own brain smile. Like a warm, nurturing light shedding down through your neck, your chest, your shoulders, your upper back. Feel the smile there, now emanating from your heart center. As a smile pervades your lungs, how does it affect the way you breathe, how it feels to breathe? Like a warm, loving river flowing down to your lower abdomen, trickling down through the rest of your spine. Feel the smile emerging there. Traveling with such joyfulness. Down at your root, at the base of your spine, feel the smile throughout your pelvis. And all the organs contained there. And as I stay silent for a couple more minutes, I invite you to play with this. Where else can you invite that smile to encompass you? Spreading its energy throughout your human form. What would it feel like for your entire being, all the different dimensions and layers of you, to smile? uninhibitedly. As you let go of that inner smile practice, notice what's here now. Remember that at any given moment, though beliefs may feel stuck or repetitive at times, you always have a choice where to direct your focus and affect how you're feeling. Sense your mental and emotional state. As we bring our practice to a close, you might join your hands in prayer at the heart, acknowledging anything you feel appreciation for. And with that, welcome back your intention, mentally or out loud, saying it again. Remember to whom or what you chose to dedicate today's practice. And let's close chanting Om 3 times. Inhale a little deeper. Bow in towards your heart center, recognizing consciousness at the heart. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.